Tonight, our learning goals will include knowing what mental health is all about. And there is no way you're going to know what mental health is all about without even knowing what health is about. Then we'll proceed to learn how to know if you're having a mental issue. Then I will take my time to discuss some common mental disorders. Thereafter, I will put us through on what to do when your mental health is under attack. What should you do? And finally, we will discuss how to keep one's sanity in an insane world. But before I proceed, I want to do a mic test. Please. Okay. So, in our outline, we will be discussing from the word go. Is it okay not to be okay? Then, secondly, we will talk about what is mental health. Then, I will discuss extensively what CMDA teaches medical students about mental health. Then I will talk about how would you know if your mind is under a siege, that is, under a mental health attack. Then where will you find help in those dark times? Finally, I will discuss about how to create a blockade against mental health insults. And by this, I mean mental health insult blockers. Okay. I am a lover of a talent show, especially the American Got Talent. Yes. So, like I was saying, I'm a lover of the American Got Talent. And there is this young lady called Jane. She had cancer. The woman is late now. By the time she presented for this program, she sang a song titled It's Okay. And I love that song so much. And I don't know, can I sing a little part of it? Uh, I don't know, do I have the permission to sing a little part of the song? Though I'm not a very good singer. The song goes like this. I moved to California in the summertime. Summertime. I changed my name thinking that it would change my mind. Change my mind. I thought that all my problems there would stay behind. Stay behind. I was a stick of dynamite and it's just a matter of time. Oh, dango, my now I can't hide. Say I knew myself, but I guess I lied. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you're lost, if you're lost, alright. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you're lost, we are all a little lost, and it's alright. Say, that is the whole concept of this mental health training. Somewhere, somehow, all of us are lost in our own little way. I've posted the song in the group so that you can go through it. This young lady had cancer that have spread into the breast and all over the body, but she still came out to share her talent with the world. And when one of the organizers, we asked the woman, Why is it that you're not looking like what you are passing through? She gave a phenomenal answer and she said, you can't wait until life isn't hard anymore before you decide to be happy. Anytime I remember that statement, it shook me to the depths of my being. Because here was a woman that had cancer, that was given a 2% chance to live, and still went to stand on the biggest stage in the universe to deliver one of the most outstanding rendition that the world will remember her for. So is it okay not to be okay? Yes. Because you can't wait until life isn't hard anymore before you decide to be happy. So, what is mental health? Next slide. What is mental health? Anytime they mention mental health, the only thing that comes into people's mind is those mad people, people that are having depression, all those things. I beg, don't come and affect my mental health, blah, 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 blah. No, it's bigger than that. Way, 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 way bigger than that. First of all, one thing you must know is that mental health is a type of health. So the first thing you need to know is what is health. So what is health? Health is a state of physical, mental, and social well-being, and not just the absence of a disease or an ailment or an infirmity. It is a state of complete well-being. You can say that this person is well. So when we say this person is well upstairs, this person is well in the mind, we call that mental health. So mental health is a state of mental well-being, that is being well in the mind, that enables people to cope with stress. Very, very important. The whole essence of the mental health training is that one should be able to cope with stress. Once you can no longer cope with stress anymore, we call that a mental breakdown. So not just coping with stress, you will now be able to have the ability to be able to contribution to your society. So that was the definition that was given by the World Health Organization. And they stressed so hard that it is not just the absence of mental disorder, the fact that you are not mad, the fact that you are not going through depression, the fact that you are not having any form of mental disorder does not mean you have a mental health that is stable. It must be a state of total mental well-being where you can withstand the stresses of life, where you can realize your potentials, you can do the work that you are called to do, and that you can contribute meaningfully to your society. So there is no way you are going to know what mental health is about until you have known where mental health takes care of. When you enter into the hospital, you will discover that the person you will meet in the hospital is called a physician or a surgeon. They take care of the body, they take care of what they can see. But the psychiatrist or the mental health physician is the person that takes care of the mind. And that takes me to what CMDA teaches us as medical students. Next slide, please. There's this particular song we sing in CMDA. CMDA stands for Christian Medical and Dental Association of Nigeria. That is the association for medical students who are still being trained to be doctors. And our anthem goes like this: God made man, spirit, soul, and body. God made man, spirit, soul, and body. God made man, spirit, soul, and body. Care for the whole man. Then the second stanza goes like this: healing to the body, salvation to the soul of man, healing to the body, salvation to the soul of man, healing to the body, salvation to the soul of man, spirit liberation. So the man is made up of three parts: the body, the soul, and the spirit. Why the spirit is the part that interacts directly with God. The soul is the part that interacts with other human beings, that joins the spirit and the body and interacts with other human beings. Then the body is the part that interacts with the environment. The body is the part you can touch. Every other part, the spirit and the soul, you cannot touch. The only person that can touch the spirit is God. The only person that can touch the soul is you or another person. But everybody can have a physical touch, the physical one you can see. So when you are standing, the mind is inside the brain, is deeply located. Some scientists say it's located very close to the pineal gland, but we know better than that now. But it is there. It's not something you can see or touch. But it is the part that anytime you are insulted, the part that feels that pain is called the mind. And the mind is broadly divided into three parts. That is, the soul is broadly divided into three parts: the mind, the emotions, and the will. Where the mind is the part that thinks, the emotion is the part that feels, while the will is the part that decides. But all these, in my training as a psychiatrist, all these are being joined together to form what we call the mental component of the body. So when you are treating the person, you are treating the mind, the emotions, and the will. In the course of this training, I will be referring to the soul, which is the part that has to do with mental health, as the mind, because that is the other name for it in our generation. So, how do you know the position of the spirit, the soul, and the body and their function? Next slide, please. Now, we're in the Gen Z generation where people are exposed to computer. And the part of the computer you can touch, you can feel, you can, anytime you touch it, like the desktop, the printer, the speaker, the mouse, the webcam that you can see, that is the hardware. The hardware is equivalent to the body of a man. That is the part you can touch. Then the window and the software that is inside the laptop, that is inside the computer, that makes you to operate the computer effectively, is what we call the soul or the mind. Then, for either the body or the mind to function, you need a power source. And the power source is what we call the spirit. That is why in the Bible, in the book of Acts chapter 1, verse 8, Jesus speaking to the disciples says, And when the Spirit come upon you, ye shall receive power, because the Spirit is about power. The Spirit gives you power for your mind to function, to move the body, to do the work that you have been destined to do in life. So the Spirit is equivalent to your battery. The battery of the laptop is what powered the laptop, is what powered the computer to come to life. But the software inside the window, the apps that are in the laptop is equivalent to the soul or the mind. Then the body is the same thing as the hardware. So if you understand the computer, you understand the component of the body. I did this as an extensive teaching in one of my echo teaching, and that's where I extrapolate this one directly from. So I hope this is well understood. So you know that virus can catch the software, and that is why a man's mind can be corrupted. Very, very important. It is the part that helps you to do the work that you are about to do. Without the software of a computer, the computer is nothing but just a waste. In my place, they call it, if you have a laptop or a desktop that no software can be installed on it, that means that in my place we call it condemned. It's already condemned. So even if your spirit, you are spiritually very high, which means the battery of your life is charged, and you are looking so beautiful, which means your body is okay. If your mind is not okay, people will avoid you, because you are what? You are worthless. Because nobody can use you, nobody can have any utility from you. And very importantly, if your mind catches virus, which is what we call mental health disorder, it's very important that we know that anytime virus catches the computer or your phone, you can actually flash the phone or the laptop, and you can uninstall and reinstall. So tonight, what we are going to be learning is how to install and how to uninstall and reinstall some of the softwares that have been governing your life and have been limiting you as an individual. Next one. So, when we deal with mental health, we don't talk about disease. So, you don't say this person is having schizophrenia disease, this person is having a depression disease, this person is having anxiety disease. No, they are disorders. And what is the difference between a disorder and a disease? If you can look at the slide very well, you can see the first part. There were two cars that hit each other. That is a disease. But you can see the other person, the fuel in the car just finished. That is a disorder. That is the difference between a disease and a disorder. So in a disease, something got spoiled. It's like the anatomy and the physiology had an accident. So this person in question needs to be taken to the hospital and treated until they can they can repair the car or replace some of those things. But in the situation of a disorder, for instance, something is out of order. That's why it's called disorder. That is, the thing is not yet in order. So if you come to my clinic and they say this person is colo, all I need to do is to make sure that I bring down the level of dopamine in the person using what I call dopamine blockers, like risperidone. I'll give you those drugs that will bring the dopamine down. And after a while, you will discover that this person will begin to communicate fine. I know many of you always in your various villages, when somebody is mad, you go and tie the person to a tree and start flogging the person. That is not the way to go about it. You can get my number from Nico. You can get my number from Bro Nicholas, so that we can take care of all the people that are mad in your area. Please stop tying them to trees. Stop taking them to pastors. Please. We have drugs that can treat these things. By the grace of God, we have treated our team here, we have treated hundreds of mad people. Though we don't use the word mad people, but that is the one you understand. That's why I'm using it for you now. Hundreds of schizophrenic patients, hundreds of bipolar patients, hundreds of people that, in fact, that one is thousands of depressed patients. And the anxiety patients, we bring them, we correct that neurotransmitter that is either lacking or that is reduced in the individual. And before you know what is happening, these people become normal, and we are good to go. Please give me just 15 seconds. I'm coming.
You guys are receiving medical class for free. You pay. Oh. You know how much it takes to train a medical doctor in Nigeria. And if you're not with your pen and paper here tonight, I don't know what you're doing.
Thank you very much. So you can see what we treat here is disorder. We don't treat diseases. So once we correct the anomaly in you, thank you very much, bro Nicholas. I heard your voice as well, just entering. So once we correct the disorder, the person becomes normal. I can assure you, no matter how mad, how schizophrenic or how psychotic your patient is, you bring the person under our care. We'll manage this person, and this person will go to at least minimum of a baseline. So the next, which is the very important question that we're about to enter now, is the symptomatology. Next slide, please. Now, I could not find some of the statistics in my own area that could fit our discourse tonight. But one thing, so I just told myself, since my brother is in the UK, let me use UK own. Mental health statistics that you should know. Currently, as I speak with you, about 45 million adults in the UK have a mental health problem. 45 million. And 61% of these people don't have access to treatment. And that is why, if I should enter UK today, I am a hot cake. Because 61% of adults that are currently there that have this mental disorder, that's how they will enter people's hospital and start shooting people. US is even worse. You don't even want to go there. Those ones, they just go from school to school shooting people. Now, 98% of people think mentally ill people experience stigma and discrimination. And that is one of the biggest problems we face in this profession. People even look at me sometimes and say that, Victor, it seems you too, the colo. But the truth is that that stigma is not necessary. And that is why people don't own up to the problem that they are facing. Now, in England currently, 20% of people, that is one out of every 5 person in England, have thought about committing suicide. I don't know whether my brother Nick has thought of committing suicide, because I think he should be one of the 5 people in question. But I think he should be part of the four remaining ones that have not yet thought about committing suicide yet.
In England, no
And
way.
they, uh-huh.
I've not thought of committing suicide, but I did thought about it in Nigeria.
you that you are enjoying life now, so it's not part of it can never be. See, the truth is that black people is not part of us. Don't forget about it. Commit suicide. No, nah. But please, let's be very careful. Let's not exaggerate it. I have had patients that have come down with suicidal thoughts. I have a patient in the hospital that took 27 tablets of her medication because she wanted to kill herself. So let us be on the watch out to relatives, especially those ones that don't talk. Those ones that are always helping people and the rest of them, please, let's be on the watch out for them. And they say that 4 million adults in England have attempted to kill themselves. Then 46% of people who die by suicide, that is about half of the people that die by suicide in the United Kingdom, have mental health disorder. Now, in the workplace, about 300,000 people with mental health problems have lost their job each year because of mental health disorder. Then 55% of workers say that their employment is giving them mental health problem. 55%. Then 71% of these people were worried about telling their employer if they had a mental health problem. That is, 7 out of 10 people that have mental health problem will never open up to person that can help them. And that is a big problem. So, what are the early symptoms that whenever you see them, you will begin to ask yourself, am I having a mental health illness? The first one is you having problem concentrating. Secondly, you feeling persistently sad. I didn't say you feeling sad, I say persistently sad. You wake up in the morning, you are tired, you are sad. Excessive fears and worries. You are worried about S, Y, Z. How to get this one, how to get job, how your mother is sick, and all those. If you are having excessive worries, these are early symptoms that you should speak with a mental health specialist. Extreme mood changes. Your mood just is swing like pendulum. It will. It will. Just now you are happy. Before we know what's happening, you are already angry. You are back to happy again. Extreme mood changes. These are early symptoms that you may be having a mental health illness that is coming to fruition. There's sleeping problems. When you go to sleep at night and you cannot find sleep, or you sleep for, maybe you've always been the one that sleep for 8 hours, your sleep now drastically falls to 3 hours, 4 hours. There is a problem. Problem is on the way. Paranoia, meaning that you are suspicious of other people. My auntie is after my life. You see, my landlord is after my program. His mental, you are having his mental problem you are having like that too is coming. You need to speak to someone that is a specialist so that you can have those things ironed out. Inability to cope with stress. They just ask you, please, when you are done with what you are doing, you should go and send those letters to the other company. After you are done with that, you should make sure that you clean the table. You can't withstand, you can't cope with the ongoing um, uh, plenty duties that are lined up for you, and you are overwhelmed. You can no longer cope. Before you know what's happening, you are having headache. Excessive use of alcohol or drugs. These are people that, and because of all this stress and the rest of them, they say, "Oh, let me calm everything down." They'll now go and buy tramadol, or they'll go and buy Chelsea alcohol, or they will go and get Igbo. Where I currently work now, 8 out of every 10 patients I admit is because of Igbo, cannabis, weed. Now, major changes in your eating habits. You that usually finish 4 roll of a bar. Now, only one roll of a bar you cannot finish. There's a problem, and you need to see someone that can help you through the whole process. Then anger management issue. Before you know what's happening, are you mad? Is there something wrong with you? I better get out of here, Joe. See, I'll slap. If you are having anger issue, please, 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 it's time for you to look for someone that knows what needs to be done. Then suicidal thinking. Please, this one, if you have suicidal thinking, there's no even need for you to wait. Run with your 2 hands and your 2 legs and see a specialist. Now, is my mind under siege? I will briefly teach us what psychiatry or mental health is all about. Can we move to the next slide now? Yeah, mental psychiatric disorders in brief. Now, once our patient presents in the hospital, we have about 6 classes of pathologies, not really of disorders that we deal with. The first one is the organic brain syndromes, then the substance use disorder, the schizophrenia and the psychotic disorder, the affective and neurotic disorder, then the neurodevelopmental and personality disorder. Just be, don't worry. I know you're not doctors. I'll just use story to capture some of these things so that you can and look at the pictures that is on your slide. It can give you an idea of what I'm talking about. I'm not expecting that after this class you become uh, a specialist in training like me. But I expect that after this class, if you see something that has to do with mental health, you say, if I say this person they get mental health problem, I beg let's carry them go hospital so that the people that are trained to see this person can see. Now, the first one is organic brain syndromes. You can see that man there. This man here is having what we call delirium. And what is delirium? I won't give you our dictionary, our definition in our training, but I'll give you what you know. Delirium is confusion. This man here is confused. If you ask this man what time of the day is this, he now say, is morning, no, you now say is afternoon. Okay, who is sitting by your side? The wife is sitting by the side. Please, next slide, please. The wife is sitting by the side. You now say, it's not. This is my sister. The problem that they have here is that of confusion. That is for delirium. Then for dementia, the person can no longer function anymore. In the sense that the person cannot take his or her bath anymore, and the person is forgetful. The person, you cannot send the person to anywhere. If the person is coming back from somewhere, he will miss road. The person will go to the toilet, he will watch the head and will not watch the tummy. Please, why is this slide not moving? The slide hasn't moved. Mr. Clement, can you hear me very loud and clear? Mr. Clement.
Yes, sir, I can hear you, sir.
Okay. So for the patient that is having dementia, this person cannot function properly. So the problem is that this person, the whole brain is having problem. So this person cannot function properly. He cannot go to toilet by himself. He cannot do things that for daily normal living. So this person, we say this person is having dementia. Then we have the one we call the amnestic syndrome. These ones, they are forgetful. They don't know where they keep things. They cannot remember their name. They cannot remember the name of their wife. They cannot remember the name of their street. They don't know. It's amnesia. That is, they have problem remembering things that either happened in the past or things that are currently happening. That is that for that. These are organic syndrome. The next one, next slide, is the substance use disorder. And the first disorder we always treat here is the one we call intoxication. When you take excessive amount of Igbo or cannabis, or you take an excessive amount of alcohol or tramadol, you come down with what we call intoxication. That is, you are intoxicated, and it is a medical emergency. Then there are some persons that have what we call tolerance. They have taken these things. As they're taking it, maybe they were taking one tablet of tramadol. After a while, the one tablet of tramadol can no longer work for them again. So they have to increase the amount of tramadol they need to take. They may increase to 2, from 2 they increase to 3, from 3 they increase to 4. Once they reach something like 5, if you like give them 2, it will no longer work for them. That person is said to be having tolerance. And once the tolerance continues, you now have what we call dependence. Dependence means that this person can no longer stay without taking those things. Dependence is what you people usually call addiction. We don't call it addiction in my discipline. We call it dependence. The person is not depending on those drugs in order to be able to stay. And anytime he does not take those drugs, he will now have what we call withdrawal, which is a third one. Withdrawal, which means he immediately he doesn't take cannabis, he will now begin to have headache, the body will now begin to shake, and he will have to go and take it in order to calm himself down. And that is why many of them become forever addicted to these drugs, except if they see a specialist who will put them through. Next slide, please. The one you are very conversant with, schizophrenia. The word schizophrenia is derived from two words: schizo meaning tear, phrenia meaning mind. It means their mind is torn, so they cannot think straight. So one thought will come and stop somewhere, then another thought will continue. So their mind is divided, is splitted. So we have the one we call schizophrenia, where the person is hearing people talking to him, is seeing people talking to, discussing his matter. He can, and they have these people. You see them talking to invisible people, but I've come to a realization that actually those people may be there. I remember one of my seniors, one of our patients say, look at them standing behind you. That my senior had to move away. And I asked, Chief, why did you move away? He said, what if the person he's seeing is actually there? You come and slap me. So that is schizophrenia for you. They see people that other people are not seeing. They can hear from people that other people cannot hear from. And they believe strange things. They will tell you that there was a patient of mine. I asked the patient, what is your name? He said, my name is God. I said, your name is what? He said, my name is God. I said, which of the God? He said, my name is God the Son. I said, where is God the Father? He pointed to one of his uncles. I said, where is God the Holy Spirit? He pointed to another one of his cousins. I said, there is trouble. That's schizophrenia for you. Then we have the one we call schizoaffective, where the person is also having mood symptoms. The person will also be crying alongside. The person will be shouting alongside with having schizophrenia. You'll be having schizophrenia, but you will also be having periods where you'll be looking depressed. So there is the one we call acute and transient psychotic disorder. Then we have the one we call delusional disorder. These ones, leave it for the specialists. Then we have the next one, which is the affective disorders, meaning mood disorder. You can see that lady there. The next slide, please. You can see that lady that is sitting down there. You can see that the mood is down. The mood here is that of a depressed patient. Now, if the person starts shouting up and down, there are some patients, they are not having schizophrenia. That is where you need specialists to be able to differentiate them. They are only just, they'll be shouting about. They can do work. They will come. I have a neighbor then that usually come to visit us. Anytime she comes to visit, I can tell you, this woman will carry broom and sweep from our house to the main road. He will sweep everybody's compound. That one, we call that one bipolar affective disorder. And that state he is at that moment, we call that mania. Don't worry about that. But when you see somebody doing such kind of excessive work, they don't get tired. And if you have a girlfriend that is having mania, which is a component of bipolar disorder, Jesus, and it happened, if you have a wife, let me not say a girlfriend, because you are not supposed to be having sex with your girlfriend. Yes, you have sex with your wife. And if you have a wife and you are sleep and the person have mania, Jesus, they're not tired. 2 hours, they are just starting. The 2 hours, they are warming up to start the whatever you think you are doing. They don't get tired. No matter what you do, you cannot satisfy them. And they can walk like Jackie. Those ones are bipolar. And I know many of you know about depressive disorders. I think there are about 10 symptoms of depression where we have the person having low mood, the person is having excessive low energy. That is, this person is feeling excessively tired. This person, the things he likes doing, Man U fan, Man U is playing against Real Madrid. He said, they go watch ball. He said he's not interested. They lose interest. Loss of reduced concentration. They will be in the class, their mind will be somewhere else. Then they have this what we call psychomotor retardation. They look dull. Whenever they are walking, they will be drawing leg. then you know that this person is having symptoms that are in keeping with depression. Then this person can also begin to feel worthless. They'll tell you, I don't have a future. They'll feel hopeless. There's no future for me. No, don't worry. I'm going next. Go back. Let's go back. We're still back. Go back. We're still in depression. So this person will say, I want to go and I don't have a future anymore. I want to kill myself. At that moment, you know that your mind is under siege. You know that there's a psychiatric disorder that is brewing, and you need to see a psychiatrist as soon as possible. Then let's go to the next slide, which is the anxiety disorders. Now, for the anxiety and stress related disorders, they are divided into generalized anxiety. This person is worried about everything, more about the mama. He said the mama is sick, the grandmother swallow shovel, the sister-in-law has packed from their house, the sister has failed work. Everything is generalized, is anxious, is afraid, is worried about several things. Then the second one are phobias. Phobias, these people, their own, they are afraid. Everybody has phobia. Me, I have phobia. Phobia means fear. Me, I have fear for height. I remember when I traveled to Lagos. Oh, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I have fear for flyover. My wife literally had to hold my hand and be holding me for us to cross common flyover. I told myself I will never pass through this kind of nonsense again. There are some people that are afraid of snake. But please, who is not afraid of snake? Oh, Jesus. Some people are afraid of water. Someone like me, nothing you will pay me on earth that will make me to go and enter boat. I don't know in the future, but as far as I'm concerned, not me. You will never catch me in a boat. They say people will drown in a boat. You won't even see me near the river bank. My father built his house in Lokoja, very close to River Niger. I know they spend 1 week there, and I don't go close to that river. So that is phobia. Then panic. Panic is when somebody is just sitting down, fear just come upon the person as if the fear just fall upon the person. It will just fall on top of the person. In Igala language, they will say that the person is having something like a shibo. But the fear will just come upon the person will start breathing very fast. Immediately, the fear will just come upon the person. Then after a while, the thing will just go down. That one is panic. Then there's the one we call PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. For example, now if you are involved in an armed robber attack and they shot a person very close to you, once you leave that place, anytime you are just sitting down, immediately you just hear a gunshot in your mind, and there's nobody shooting gun there. That is post-traumatic disorder. The person, anytime, even if it's a pen that falls down, what you'll be hearing is a gunshot. So church people needs to go and see a specialist. You can say I've been talking about specialists, residents, and the rest of them. Because this one is not something you can treat at home. I'm sorry, you can't. Even if I teach you now, there's nothing you can do. Then there's the one we call OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, obsession and compulsion. In the sense that this person will just wake up in the morning and is going out, he will just say, I've not closed my door. And he has closed the door. He will go back to go and look at the door, and the door is locked. After washing their hand, they'll just go and see that they say, gem has entered my hand again. They are so obsessed with cleanliness, with making sure that everything is in order. And so everything, they are so disturbed and it's stressing them. They can enter into the examination hall and they'll just say, I forgot to put off the gas in my house. They'll leave the exam hall to go and put off gas in their house. When in essence, they have put off those gas. That one would say the person is having an obsessive compulsive disorder. Next slide, please. You can see that woman there, that soldier woman there. Is coming from war, where they shoot plenty guns. And in the course and when he comes back home now, many of you that watch action movies, many soldiers pass through this. He will not be in the house, and the son will just drop a cup, and what he's hearing is that a bomb was just dropped, and he just jump from the sleep and just shout, and they will have to take the person to the hospital. We've discussed this now. Then we have the other neurotic and developmental disorder, where we have somatization. Please, next slide, please. You can see there's a young man there. That young man there you are seeing there is having autism spectrum disorder. These ones, autism, they cannot interact very well with people. And anytime they start doing anything, assuming they see your potting and they focus on your potting, they hold your potting, they will never let go of your potting. They'll just hold you there. So these people, it usually happen in young children. So they cannot interact, they cannot make friends, and their interest is limited. Then we have other people that have what we call tick disorder, where the person will be shaking the hand or shaking the head. Any small thing, you just shake the head. Any small thing, you just shake the mouth. Any small thing, you just shake the eyes. You just blink. Those ones are having tick disorder. When the tick disorder is both is having, whenever he's talking, you'll be just, you'll be having mannerisms. Another form, a lighter form of tick disorder is what we call the Tourette syndrome. Then we have Asperger syndrome. We have conversion. Now, in this conversion, somebody that is having a mental disorder will now be showing physical symptoms. For example, now this person, the husband is beating him at home. I remember there was a patient of mine that came to the hospital. This woman could not move hand, could not move leg. Nothing we did not say to this woman. And now they now called me to come and review this patient. I went to the patient's bedside. As I was discussing, I noticed something, that this woman is not having any issue. And they were taking this woman to go and do a test that will cost over that will cost hundreds of thousands. And that's why they invited me to come and review. And I asked the woman, Madam, what is your problem? And I look around, I saw the husband. I said the husband should go out. Everybody should go out. Let me and the woman stay inside. And I asked the woman, I said, what's the problem? The woman now told me that he has been married to his husband for 10 years. Now the husband is asking her to go and stay and be taking care of the sick father. I said, is that a problem? And you don't want to go? He said, yes, don't worry. I went to the husband. I said, sir, there is a doctor of ours that is in Abuja where you are staying now that can treat the problem your wife is having. And that is the person we are sending your wife to. And that is how they moved this woman to Abuja to go and stay with the husband. And the whole paralysis disappeared. That is conversion for you. Then malingering, those ones, especially prisoners, they will come, or students, some students, they will just come and they'll just be feeling symptoms. Some of them will just be salivating, just be doing all things that, and we know that they are pretending. So that is that for that. Please, what is the greatest mental health advice that I will give to everybody? Next slide, please. What is the greatest mental health advice? You can see what is there. Cry out for help. If you are depressed, if you are anxious, please cry out for help. Don't wait till people write RIP on top of your picture. Mental health problems are common. You can see what I told you before now. In America, currently, statistics have shown that 1 out of every 5 persons have a mental health disorder. And I think it's actually like that across the world. Because if you see some things some people say in government in Nigeria, you will know that people are having mental disorder in government. Because if it is not mental health disorder, how can you see the level of poverty that is going on in the land, and you still want to go and tax people on top of this poverty that is going on in the land? If it's not mental health disorder, how will one person go and steal 13.5 trillion naira? Money that even your fourth generation will not be able to exhaust. Is a mental health disorder. But I'm talking about common mental health disorder like depression and anxiety. If you are having any one of them, please hide your shame and cry out for help. If you call your Oga Nicholas can get across to me at a Japan level, and I can tell you where to meet me or what we can do about it. And it is very important that you don't hide when you are having mental health problem. I know some of you are already tired, but you must hear this. So cry out for help is the greatest mental health advice. And who are the people you can cry out help to? Please, can we go to the next slide, please? So in an eventuality where you have a problem of peer pressure, friend issues, job problems. You have, as a student, you have homework that you have not done. You have a schoolwork that you have not done. You have problem with your teachers. Your relationship, your boyfriend is not giving you a face again. He's following other guys that have big motors, and you are being stressed. I want to tell you, it is okay not to be okay, but never okay to die in silence. You have to reach out to someone, and that reminds me a song by one Nigerian musician. How are you, my friend? How do you do, my friend?
But it be like say nobody send you. That's when I like I do for
My
you, my friend.
friend, how are you, my friend? My dear, if somebody asks you how are you and you are not fine, tell the person you are not fine. You're not complaining. But the truth of the matter is that I want you to be able to know the kind of people you open up to. It's not everybody you open up to. And that is why I want us to move to the next slide. Where can you find help when you are in your dark hours? The three golden F's. The number one is your family. Please, family. Anyway, there are some families that they don't care. And that is why the Bible will say there is a friend that sticks closer than a brother. And that is why I'll tell you that you should have friends, support structures that will stand by you in times of your dark hours. Everybody has a dark hour. It may not be this year, it may not be this month, it may not be this week, but one day it will come. So you need people to surround your table. Then the last one is your physician. You can say I spelled it wrongly, but I want you to start with an F. Physician is you that know how to spell, and I'm the one that is a physician. Yes, make sure you have a doctor friend. Please make sure you have a doctor friend. And when I mean a doctor friend, I don't mean somebody that has PhD in another course. I'm talking about somebody that is that at least have an idea of what medical school is concerned. I know that very soon I'm Nicholas' doctor friend. Very soon I'll begin to charge him. He has not been giving me money. Nicholas, did you know that my wife gave birth yesterday? I won't even tell you anything yet.
Oh
Don't send
my
my gifts
God.
first.
See, I don't know. I'm just hearing
so
that.
so cry out
Wow.
to help to your family members, cry out to help, cry out for help to your friends, and cry out to help to your physician. If you are here and you don't have a doctor's number, you are an accident looking for what to happen. You are an accident. It's just a matter of time. There was a day, is this very, very rich Alhaji, very, very rich guy in Kaduna. The guy called me at 2 a.m. He said, Victor, my wife cannot breathe. I said, you mean Ajia cannot breathe? He said, yes. I said, where is he? He said, he's inside. I told the man, go there. And I spoke to the woman what she should do. I said, swallow in, sit up, take a sip of water. That was what saved that woman. If he had not done that in another 1 to 2 minutes, that woman would have been having what we call a stroke or even worse. But because he has a doctor friend and is able to call the person at the speed of light, and some of you, when you have doctor friend, you don't give them gifts. You so that you don't go call person, they don't go pick. Oh, please, so doctors these days, say they don't get joy in Nigeria, especially the ones in Nigeria. Have a doctor friend is very, very important, especially for days that you'll be in your dark hours. Now, before I leave this place, I want to sing a song. I like singing. Just that his voice that I don't have, but I still like singing. Can we move to the next slide? There's a particular special song that was sung by the man called Bill Waiters, titled Lean on Me. And it goes like this. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain. We all have sorrow. But If we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need someone to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow. So say, please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you won't understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you are not strong, and I will be your friend. I will help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you will understand. We all need somebody to lean on. I remember there was a time I was going through a lot. I just called my brother here, Nicholas Salifa. And after speaking for some few minutes, I know he didn't know that I was going through a lot. And after speaking, I was revived. If you are here, you don't have a friend, you are an accident looking for where to happen. You need people, you need friends, you need people you can just open up to. Some of you, you are too strong for living. You just want to handle everything by yourself. You cannot. You know why? Because there is something that is constant in life. And that's why I'm asking the person moving the slide to move to the next slide. There's something that's very constant in life. And that thing is called stress. Is a trigger for all mental health disorder. And what is stress? When the demands on your life exceed the supply of your strength. So as an individual, if the your mother is looking for 100,000 to do surgery and what you have is 20,000, because the demand is higher than what you can supply, you will become stressed. Now, if you are somebody that can work effectively for 6 hours and your workload in your office is for 12 hours, you discover that you'll be having career stress. If you are somebody that has that has a debt that you need to pay, you will be forced to have stress. If your oga at work will be shouting on you, giving you deadlines, unrealistic deadlines, your girlfriend is threatening you that you will end this nonsense that people are having, your business colleagues have run away with your money, or frustrating events are coming at you, please, life will happen at you. So you will be exposed to stress. And stress is the number one trigger for all mental health disorder. So if you don't surround yourself with support structures, the 3 F's, your family, your friends, and your physician, I can tell you will pass through stress. And when you pass through stress and stress becomes so hard on you, you enter into what we call distress. That's why it's called distress. It means that the stress has overcome you. And by that time, you will tilt into a mental health problem. So, I am now going to the final part of our teaching tonight, which is the next slide. Mental health stress blockers. What can I use to block my mental health stress blockers? The number one there is A. I gave it a mnemonic. A stands for asleep on time and in time. B stands for bonding with family and friends. C stands for cut down on social media and toxic circles. D stands for D vitamin from morning sunshine. That is, you come out from morning sunshine. E stands for exercise the spirit, the soul, and the body. F stands for feed on balanced diet. Please, I want to explain this in details because it's very, very important for this class. Please, can we move to the next slide, please? Now, I want to shock everyone here now. The number one, which is A, your number one stress blocker is asleep. Some of you think you are forming. You sleep for 3 hours, for 4 hours, you think it's normal. You are forming a physics. In fact, I've heard men of God saying that if you are sleeping for more than 6 hours, that your destiny is your destiny you are playing with. My dear, let me tell you the truth. Research has shown that less than 6 hours of sleep has a 2.5 times more likely chance to have a mental disorder. So if you like, no dey sleep. So the minimum number of hours you are to sleep in a night is 6 hours. So don't let any man of God push you into problem. Because many of them, it is people that don't know. We that are specialists know that many of them have mental disorders. I'm sorry to say it, but that is the truth. The truth is that you need your sleep, minimum of 6 hours. If you sleep your 6 hours and you are very alert at your place of work, you will produce more with the remaining 18 hours that you are having. So please sleep so that you don't come down with a mental health problem. And when you want to sleep, there are some rules you must obey, known as the sleep hygiene practices. Number one is that establish a nighttime routine. Please and please, don't be sleeping anyhow. Choose a time for your sleep. If it is 9 o'clock, you want to be sleeping every day, make sure that once it is 9 o'clock, put off your light and go and sleep. Please. If it is 10 o'clock, choose your time you want to. If it is 11, just make sure that it is that same time you'll be sleeping every day, because there's something we call circadian rhythm. The reason many people grow mad, you see, says that somebody will just come and just begin to have psychotic illness, is when you start changing the time of your sleep. Today you sleep by 1 a.m., tomorrow you sleep by 12 a.m., next tomorrow you sleep by 9 p.m. You are just scattering your sleeping time. You are playing with your mental health. Secondly, get up and sleep at the same time. Thirdly, create a healthy sleep environment. Please and please, when you want to go and sleep, sleep on a very good bed. Though some of the bed you are sleeping on, only God knows. And it's not like you don't even have the money to afford good bed. You go and be sleeping on rock. I know you are serving a rock of ages, but it's not. You should not go and sleep on rock, on the eternal rock. Also, please find bed that when you are sleeping inside, the bed is soft. Get good pillow. That stone you are putting your head, you are not Jacob. You are not seeing any vision. You are stressing the neck. Turn off electronics an hour before you sleep. This is very, very important. I know we cannot obey this, but at least 20 minutes before you go and sleep, make sure that your electronics are put up, is far away from you. Put your phone away. Some of you sleep with your phone. That is, you continue watching movie until sleep come and carry you with the phone. You don't know that you are exposing yourself to radiations. I know we all do it, but it's wrong and it's affecting mental health. Avoid large fatty meals prior to sleeping. Stop eating swallow by 12 midnight. Obesity, only you are gathering problem for the future. People of destiny, don't eat late that night. Calm down. Food is not running. You'll be eating in the night as if they are pursuing you. Stop it. Reduce stress. And when I mean reduce stress, try and do some little exercises before your sleep every night. And stop taking caffeine. I don't know. How will somebody be going to sleep and go and take tea? Is that some people say they don't even read? You go and take tea to sleep. People take tea to work. You take tea to sleep. Take caffeine to sleep. Just because you could afford a Bonvita, this, so you want to take it in the night. Calm down. It affects your sleep. Next slide, please. Bonding, 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 be bonding. It has been shown that people who have families and who are bonding with their families, they have a 10% longer lifespan and 41% higher chance to live beyond 85 years. So if you want to live long, please, your family, you need to draw them closer. You need to have that cycle, that bonding. It releases some hormones for the body that keeps you fresh and makes you live long. You are not an Ireland. Stop having problem with every member of the family. You are not a demon. Settle quarrel and let bygone be bygone. But sometimes, don't allow bygone. Go and bygone. Yeah. Now it has been shown that divorced and single men are 2.5 times likely to kill themselves than married people. Please, if you are here and you are above 25, I'm not pressuring you. Go and find somebody. That sister has been praying. Don't waste that prayer. Sister, that brother that is looking at you, that is giving you sign, try and settle down. Stop saying you cannot marry a poor man. It's not because you are poor. That's why you can see that the man is poor. If you make the money and give to your husband, will you die? Go and marry. My wife see, as at the time my wife married me, my wife is a medical doctor like myself. At the time my wife married me, my wife's money was more than my own. But today, glory be to God, we are fine. We don't dey come closer. My wife has been to 39 countries of the world. I've only been to one, and the name of that one is Nigeria. It was my wife that took me to my first airport. I went to the airport. I didn't enter the plane. I just went to bid her goodbye inside the airplane. So some of you just be giving yourself unnecessary expectation. You don't want to settle down. You want to finish this one. You want to finish this one. You want to get 20 billion in your account. Calm down. Look for somebody that has future, somebody that has vision. Settle down. So that I start bonding. Some of these things are affecting your mental health. Every day you'll be writing all other people's wedding. You too. Find somebody. I'm not pressuring anybody, but this night there should be changes because we need bonding. It releases a special hormones. I know I've offended people. I know they will not invite me to this year. They will not invite me to Nick up again. This one I fired them at least. This these are evidence based. You can see Desert News and Journal of Epidemiology and Community Health. So you don't think I'm talking out of point. They say that people that are divorced and single, they are 2.5 more likely to kill themselves. So they don't have anything to live for. Now that I now have a child, you say I should come and kill myself. We die. No, we live here. Nah. You should have something to live for.
Next slide,
That
please.
sister, that sister has prayed enough, and I know that it's that sister prayer that is making me to shout like this. Go and find love. With 2 million naira, you can do wedding. Stop doing excessive wedding. Go and do call wedding. Then sign yourself so that you can start. At least you have put that one away. You don't want to be 45, then you now give birth to your first child. You and the child, you now be going to PTA. You can't be going to PTA at 45. And those are those parents that come to PTA, they'll be quarreling very, very well. Because let me not look for trouble this evening. Let's go to the next slide.
Next slide. Thank you. Next slide.
Cut down. Cut down. Cut down on your social media usage. It has been shown that people that use social media so much have 60% chance of experiencing depression and anxiety. Why would you have depression and anxiety? The last time, there was the time I went online. I went online some time ago. One of my friends went and posted on his wall. Local boy has gone global because the guy traveled abroad. But then I nearly entered depression. And yeah, just imagine some people, they'll be looking at people. They'll just wake up in the morning and they'll just be looking at people's what they call that thing? Status. They want to know the ones that are getting married. They want to know the ones that are doing this and celebrating XYZ. Stop exposing yourself to unnecessary nonsense. There are some people, because of the content on their wall, I block them. I block them. It's not because they are bad, it's because it's for my own mental health. If they carry me go mental health now, none of them will come and visit me. So let me help myself. Currently, 6 out of every 10 person on earth have social media addiction. Means that half of the people on earth already have social media problem. So if you are not having social media problem, you know that you are one of the exceptions. 41% of Gen Z adults associate negative feelings with social media consumption, which means almost about half of people know that there is negative influence that is coming from social media. Yet 97% of teenagers have at least one social media account, and they averagely spend about 3 hours 1 minute on social media on daily basis. That is trouble. 3 hours. If you spend 2 hours reading a particular course for the next 3 years, the world will look for you concerning that particular course. 2 hours, if you can spend 2 hours, 2 hours on a particular course, the world will look for you concerning that course. Yet somebody is spending 3 hours on an average. You means, in fact, there are many people that spend up to 8 hours here. I don't want to look for trouble this evening. Immediately they wake up with their social media and they sleep with their social media. You're on Instagram, you're on Twitter, you're on Linda Ekeji, you're on WhatsApp, you're on Facebook, you're on which one is it? You are everywhere. Yet you don't have money, you don't have anything. When they ask you question, is you be say, oh, because you don't read. Please cut down on all those excesses. Social media, let it go. Newport will say, not until you cut out from social media, you cannot prosper in life. There's some level of prosperity that comes with you cutting down your social media life. Spend that time bonding with your family. Look at that picture. They came to stay with each other, but all of them are so soaked inside the phone. So let's move to the next slide. And the problem that many people don't know about chatting is that chatting is free. You know, you don't pay when you are using Facebook and WhatsApp and the rest of them. It's free simply because you are the product. I know that one of these days, Bronick will gather you together to tell you the mechanism by which social media they made it free. Because you are the product, you are the thing that the social media owners are selling. They are selling your attention to advertisers and they are collecting your data and giving to them. That's why social media is free. So don't think it is free. You are paying it with your hard-earned attention, which is your time, and your time is your lifespan. So you are using your lifetime. So many of us currently are nothing but issues. We are using our lifetime to pay for just little pleasures. May God help us in Jesus' name. I'm sorry if there are Muslims in the house. Next slide. D stands for D vitamin. Poorer mental health has been associated with low level of exposure to sunlight in operating room nurses. This is found with the PubMed Central, a very important journal. Meaning that if you wake up in the morning, that 10 o'clock sun, that 9, 10, 11 sun, try and come out and collect it. It helps the body. It helps your mental health. Sunlight is used in phototherapy. There are some patients that come down with depression, especially there's a type of depression we call seasonal depression. The treatment we give to those people is to come out from between 9 and 11 a.m. in the morning. So if you are always coming out with it during that time, you will not have a mental health problem. So please adopt it as, stop staying inside the room. You are not a furniture. Please. Yeah, I'm an introvert. Introvert, please come out. You are an introvert, but you can go to eateries. You eat a full plate of amala, everything. Chop one full chicken. You are still an introvert, but you not come out to come and collect some. Come out. Next slide. E, exercise. And there are 3 kinds of exercise you need to do. The physical exercise is what you need to develop your body. I don't need to stress on this because I know you can see it. Wake up, at least have an exercise schedule. That weight you are gathering, lose it. Lose it. Lose it. Especially those of us that are abroad. Please don't allow chicken to hold you. You eat chicken from Monday till Saturday. On Saturday, go and carry your gym boot or just run around your neighborhood. But please, be careful. I heard that police people do arrest people. Let them not come and arrest you. So run where you will not be arrested. Then the next one, the next kind of exercise. Next slide, please. Reading. Read for the soul. Read for the mind. I know you were born local, but if you die local, you have committed a sin. You are born local to become global. Remember this, you were born local to become global. And the only way you can go global is by feeding your mind. Let anytime you open your mouth to speak, let people judge. Let sense come out of your mouth, of your mouth. Not every time you open. You say, I really don't really have much idea. Try and have much idea. My wife will tell me, say, Victor, I fell in love with you because you know book. Now, if I don't have money, should I read book? We'll have the money very soon. So read books. If this year we are in the month of May now, if you have not read any book since the beginning of this year, just know that you have committed sin against your mind. At least read one book in a month. If you are not reading one book a month, just know that you don't have a place with us in destiny. There's a time that is going to come. There's a period that is going to come in future. We call that time destiny. If you are not reading alongside, there are some things we'll be saying. There was a time Bro Nicholas called me to a meeting, and all the books that they were reviewing, he didn't even tell me the books they were reviewing. I have read all of them. Please read, oh, read, read on finance, read on anything you can find in your hand, especially finance. You know how poor we are in this part of the world. I know there are other people from other places that joined us, but please, anywhere you are, the only way to change the story of your family and of yourself is to read. Read. Because when you have the opportunity, is what you read that you can apply. Our brother Nicholas is where he is currently today because of things he has read, trainings he has exposed himself to. Please read. Have a reading schedule. Then the last kind of exercise is pray for the spirit. Pray. Next slide, please. Some of you don't pray and you don't read your Bible. And those that are Muslims, you don't read your Quran. Please, life is spiritual. Try and handle some things in the realm of the spirit. Have something you believe in and pray. 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 It is very important. It helps your mental health. There's a peace that passes understanding and it can only be given by God. Your mental health cannot be in jeopardy when you are always visiting your Father in heaven. Have a secret place. Have a time that you spend in your quiet place to talk to your Maker. It is very, very important. Finally, F. Next slide. Which is food. You know that the person, Nick is a food scientist. So I just told myself, Victor, there's no need for you to teach much on this. Nick will always tell them things about this. See, but what I want to tell you is that you are what you eat. A hungry man is an angry man. But one thing you must know that anger is a temporal insanity. So if you are not eating well, you are treating yourself towards insanity. Bananas, fruits, proteins are non-negotiable. There's a reason why I mention banana in particular because of the dopaminergic ability in banana. And I want to say this very importantly. There was a write-up that Bronick did recently about protein. I know we are very poor in Africa. Oh, please and please try and be putting 1 or 2 meats inside the food when you are eating. You are not the representative of poverty in the continent. Please, please move to the next slide. I want to show something. Please, food must not always be one big fufu or one big swallow against one tiny piece of beef. Please, eat food. Make sure that the protein component is enough. Bronick was talking about that our protein is what actually is that if you don't meet the quota of your protein, and I know many people in Africa they don't meet the quota of their protein. That's why our thinking is having problem in this continent. We don't meet our quota of protein. And you as representatives and people that are under training, meet your quota of protein. At this point, I want to say, your mental health is the software that drives your very existence. Taking care of it, therefore, is in your own best interest. Just like your phone is useless without the apps, your life is worthless without your mind. Take care of your mind, and God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Can you all hear me?
Thank you.
Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you very much, Doctor. Time listening to you, and we've learned so much about our mental health. And by God's grace, we are going to put into practice the recommendations you gave. So it's time for question and answer. If you have a question, please indicate, or you can also drop it in the comment in the chat box so I can read it out to our mentor for today. So I'll be expecting, okay, Mr. Clemens, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Good evening, everyone. My
Good
question
evening,
is
sir.
about personally, I used to feel psychiatry is different from psychology. And then for me, I see depression, social anxiety, trauma, I see them as psychological issues. So I would want you, sir, Doc, to help us differentiate between psychiatric illnesses or psychiatric disorders and psychological disorders.
Okay. Can I attempt that immediately?
Yes, sir, you can.
Okay. Now, mental health is divided into two parts: psychology and psychiatry. Now, the word psycho means mind, and logy, which is gotten from the word logos, means study. So, psychology is the study of the mind. Now, you now hear the same word psychiatry. Psych there still means mind. Iatry means measurement. What are you measuring? You are measuring the abnormality in the mind. So, why psychology is the study of the normal mind? Psychiatry is the study of the abnormal mind. There is no way you can do psychiatry without doing psychology. Because not until you know how the normal looks like, you cannot bring the abnormal back to normal. So you can get me. So we, like in my department now, we have what we call the psychiatrists, and we have what we call the psychologist. They are in the department. We have both of them. We have both the head of the department of psychiatry and both the head of the department of psychology. And all of us, we go for ward rounds together. But the thing is this: psychology, they deal mostly with people who are normal, while psychiatry deals with people who are not normal. But it's a continuum. Because after we treat people, for example, it's a psychologist that help us to do personality assessments. They check the person to know the person's personality. And they are the people that also help us to do cognitive behavioral therapy. But we in psychiatry also do cognitive behavioral therapy, but not like we do a kind of division of labor. But when it comes to management of a patient, when a person is now down, it's up to the psychiatrist. But the normal man is being managed by the psychologist, because the person needs to answer questions and the rest of that. We will give drugs using the biopsychosocial frame. So psychology starts with the normal person, but when the person is abnormal, they give it to us. And after we finish managing, we still give it back to the psychologist to help to maintain that state of health. That is how we do it. Thank you very much. I hope it's clear.
Yes, sir,
Yes,
that's
sir.
clear. I think that's okay. Thank you very
Very
much,
clear.
sir, for that answer. So we are going to be taking Ma'am Juliet's question next. You can speak, ma'am.
Okay, good evening, sir. Thank you so much for the class. I absolutely enjoyed it. Yeah, so I have a question. It's about schizos schizophrenia. Yeah. So I'm going to describe something, then I'm going to ask the specific question that I want to ask. So I know a woman whom at her younger age She was fine, like she was really very active. And it got to a point in her life when she became schizophrenic. If that's the right word. Or yeah. So at some point she started seeing, like you described, hearing people talk, seeing things that every other person is seeing, you know. There's a time when instead of dressing in her room, she can come outside to maybe like the eating room or somewhere to dress herself, because she kept hearing, um like she used to hear voices and all of that and strange things like that. So at some point, and one thing I actually noticed is those kind of people, even when you try to explain to them that things are not fine, they do not understand. Like, well, let's say they live in denial or something. So we got to a point she had to start going through, like, they had to start injecting her at some point, because she wouldn't even come to the understanding that, okay, you have to go to the psychiatric hospital. You know, the stigmatization that comes to this thing, that everybody say you're mad and all. Yeah. So she started taking those drugs because she had to take it. She started taking the injections and the drugs and stuff. But it got to a point when her lips started shaking continuously because of the effect of that drug, or because of the effect of those drugs that she was taking at the time. So my question is there anything that can stop that effect of mouth shaking in schizophrenic patients? Is there something that can? I don't know. So please just answer the best of your knowledge. Thank you. That's my question.
Okay. Okay. Like the question actually, I understand your question very perfectly. Like I said, this is my specialty. So if I tell you that there is nothing that can be done, you will know that I'm only either dragging your leg or I'm lying. What you described just now, the patient is having what we call an EPSC, extrapyramidal side effect, and it's as a result of the drug. One of the drugs is a dopaminergic uh, uh, ADR blocker, most likely a D2 blocker. So what I will simply do is to commence the patient on either a benzazole, a piperidine, or any of our anticholinergics that can help to blockade the effect. But then I will need to assess, because there are 4 EPSC. That's why you still need a psychiatrist to come into the situation. There are 4 EPSC, and depending on the training of me, I'm at the level that this is what you are saying. I see this particular complaint almost. If I don't see, there's practically no day I don't see like 4 5 of it. So this one is not even a complaint. This one is like a normal thing we follow. But there are 4 of them. We have what we call the acute dystonic reaction. Then we have the one we call the pseudo Parkinsonism. Then we'll have the tardive dyskinesia. And so I will need to, then we have the akathisia. So I will need to know which particular one, because what you say now, I have two differentials. Is that this person having an acute dystonia, or this person is having a tardive dyskinesia? Because the management plan will determine, because I may need to change to either clozapine or reduce the medication and use any of the second generation antipsychotics. So it depends on what the my review with the patient is, which is not something that, even if I tell you what to do now, you may not even know what I'm even talking about since.
Yeah, I absolutely understand. Thank you.
God bless you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. So there's a question in the chat box that I want to read out. If it would be acknowledged, stress cannot be separated from humans. Can our mental health be affected by too much or less stress? That's a question from Mr. Davis.
Yes. Um, Stress is a normal part of life, but stress becomes distress when or stress becomes distress when the individual in question does not have the ability, the capacity to be able to meet up with the demand that is placed on his life. Okay, waking up from your bed to go and take your bath is stressful. Going to work is stressful. All these things are stressful, but it is not yet this stress because you are still doing it. It becomes this stress. For example, now, it becomes this stress if you have to trek from my office, from where I live to my workplace on daily basis, and I have to trek back. I am now experiencing what we call a distress now. And this is the one that push one into mental health problem. So every day we have stress. Somebody calling you, my wife calling me that the baby is crying, no, is stress. But that cannot push me to mental health. Baby is crying. No, it can't push me to mental health problem. But in a situation they say that the baby is gasping for breath. Ah, this is my class. I don't end up since now. I don't live in a I don't japa. I don't live in a since because someone is now distressed. So what we are looking, because there are two types, there are two major kind of stress. There's what we call use stress and distress. Use stress is normal stress. Then distress is the stress that pushes one to mental health problems. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate the answers you've given to all our questions. So far, I can't chat and I can't see any raised hand that we've not attended to. So we'll just give our appreciation now. Like I said earlier, we really appreciate your efforts, sir. Thank you so much. We are really, really grateful for your time, the knowledge you spent with us, and all that. May God bless you richly. Amen. So over to Mr. Nicholas. I don't know if you have anything to say.
I don't know why you guys are always overing to me every day. What do you expect me to say again apart from what you guys have had? I beg, let us know what we have had. I beg. For those that are supposed to marry, go and marry. Cut down on social media. Talk to people. Ask for help. Dr. Thor, thank you once again tonight. I don't even know what to say. Thank God this is being
Thank you,
recorded. I'm going to
brother.
put this in autoplay. And I'm going to recommend that everyone listening to this. I'm serious. I'm serious. I could see Juliet coming to my inbox and telling me that you are talking to me. Okay, I won't see anything. But by the way, thank you so much.
Thank
It,
you.
you did more than what we expected. Especially coming from a professional aspect. And once again, a very big congratulations. We know what it means to have a baby yesterday,
See,
and then you are
see,
also coming here tonight
Nicholas,
to do this.
go and buy my gift and send. I know they do
No,
now.
no,
Move what they
I'm
do now.
not. No,
Sure, you
I'm
know.
not buying. I'm not buying your gift. I'm buying the gift for the baby. So, no worry. It's for the baby. We are so excited to have you tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No
Guys,
problem.
please, can you just unmute and just say thank you if you know that you have been blessed tonight? And after that, Messi, you can take over. Please unmute and say thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you
much,
very
sir.
much, sir.
Thank you
God
so much,
bless
sir.
you.
Thank you
I
very
really
much,
Thank you
appreciate
sir.
it.
so
Thank
much,
you
sir.
very
The
much,
Lord
Thank
bless you,
you
sir.
sir.
very much. It's an honor to be
Thank
here.
you,
God
thank you,
bless
thank
you
you.
all.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, Mr. Mohammed, no, thank you. Like as I was saying, please,
Thank you so much, sir.
my apologies for people that I was as it is. God
It's
bless you
okay.
all.
Thank you.
I really appreciate. It's an honor to be here, a
Uh,
big one, and I
mm,
really appreciate you all.
okay. So thank you guys. I
Thank
think that's all from me. I don't know if Mercy or Dami has any other thing to say, maybe in regards to your what do you call it now? Your attendance tonight. Well, I don't know.